Okay, Team Rhino Crash Course. So today our assignment is a little less philosophical and meet and greet type and a little bit more let's put together some tools to get things done. Okay, so the two tools that I want you to get set up, if you don't already, are a calendar and a to-do list. Okay, I think you need both of these things in order to get organized and get on a good schedule of actually working your Beachbody business on a regular basis instead of it just being kind of happenstance or kind of happening, um, you know, if you have time. Okay, you have to schedule it in. You have to actually schedule the time when you're going to work your business. Now, if day to day, the schedule changes a little bit and it's not exactly what your calendar says, that's one thing. But schedule it in there and tell yourself, this is what my schedule looks like today. From this time to this time, I'm working my Beachbody business, and that's what's on my calendar. Okay, if you're not working off of a good calendar, this may be outside of your day job, so maybe on your Google Calendar or whatever we decide to use, um, when you're at work, your day that's just blocked off on your Google Calendar as work. You don't have to schedule every meeting you have at work and stuff like that, unless you're kind of slipping some Beachbody stuff in there at work, which I won't say that I ever did that while I was working at the shipyard. But anyway, what you're going to want to set up is a calendar of some sort, and it can be anything from a day planner, like an actual book, like that you write in and you highlight. And that's how Monica Ward does it. She's got a day planner and she writes down what she's got to do, and she highlights, meetings in one color and something else in another color and all that kind of stuff. And that's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. I personally use Google Calendar. I will show that to you here in a second in this video. I'll show you my desktop with my Google Calendar. And then I use a to-do list. That's also a program called Wunderlist. Both these things are free. I'll show you those in the second part of this video. Why do I have a calendar and a to-do list? How do I use them? Okay, so the calendar shows all my appointments. It blocks off my time as to what I'm doing throughout the day in general. So I have a phone call here, that's on my calendar. I have a meeting here, that's on my calendar. These are my business hours, so this is when I'm doing business from this time to this time. This is the time that I'm answering messages and emails in the morning. This is the time that I'm with my kids and I'm not working Beachbody. This is the time that we're having dinner. This is the time that I've got to go take my wife on a date. Get to go take my wife on a date. um, all that's blocked out on the calendar. So I can look the night before, every night I look at that calendar and I know this is how my day looks every day. I know when I'm working, when I'm going to be in front of the computer, and if it changes day to day, it changes. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect, but you have that blocked out. Your to-do list is more for things like, I need to send this person an email. I need to make sure and send a PayPal bill to this person. I need to schedule an appointment with this person, so you got to get in contact with them. I need to remember to pick up dog food tomorrow. It can be all that kind of stuff. So these online to-do lists that they have, they sync back and forth with your phone. You can look at them anywhere. You can add stuff to them from anywhere. And if you use them properly, they can be really, really great tools. Each one of these things takes a little bit to set up, but you need to take that time this week and set that up. Okay, so for now, today, in the next couple days before I give you the next assignment, which is going to be related to these two items, I just want you to get the account set up and know what you're going to do. What calendar are you going to use? And then what to-do list are you going to use, or are you already using if you already have one? Okay, get those set up and get ready to start adding things to them. If you want to start adding things to them, go ahead. If you want to start making lists, you'll see mine in a minute here. If you want to start doing that, but in another assignment, maybe tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to give you a little more guidance on that and what I think you should do to set that up. Okay, so for now, I just want you to figure out which things you're going to use and get the account set up and know how to get in and out of them. Get the app set up on your phone, get them synced back and forth. You know what's going on so that you can see your calendar and your to-do list everywhere you go. All right? So I'm going to take you into my computer here and show you my calendar and my to-do list and how I work that. Okay, so this is the first suggestion for you as far as finding a calendar. Google Calendar is, widely used. It's free. It's easy to use. It has the ability to see your calendar on your phone through an app. If you have a smartphone, you can also get the app on a Kindle or an iPad or any other type of tablet that you might have that you can use to see your calendar in all the different places that you are. So this is what I use, is Google Calendar. And some of the stuff I have scheduled on here I probably need to change a little bit. Things have changed since for some of this stuff, and I just haven't cleared it out. But I keep a running calendar of events and meetings and appointments and things like that that I have to be at on this calendar, and I check it every night before I go to bed. So you can see, like for instance, Tuesday, tomorrow, probably when you'll be watching this, I would assume, I have to drop my dog off, so I've got that in there. And actually, each one of these colors means something, and that probably shouldn't go in that color, but it works, Drop off my dog. I've got phone calls with a couple of people, one of whom is in this group. I have another phone call right here. I have this set up, this general business, because I have general business hours, which we will talk about as well. So 12 to 4:30 on every Tuesday, I'm doing some type of business. You can see I have things scheduled outside of my business hours, and that's okay, but I know that this is my time that I'm doing my business. If I can, have stuff scheduled outside of there and it will work, then that's fine too. I have another phone call right here with another person. This is an in-person meeting with someone, and then I have another phone call with another person on the team. 4:30 to 7:30 here is blocked off dinner and playtime so that I'm not at my computer working. I stay with that pretty well. Don't always 100% stay with that. Another phone call at night, possible other workouts, and then when I'm done with that phone call until when I go to bed is more work time. Okay, so I'm not telling you need to schedule yours just like this, obviously, because most of you have jobs or other things that you're doing. Your schedules don't match mine, but I schedule in, things like my kids' swimming lessons. I schedule in any appointments that I have. This is my chiropractor appointment right here. This is my business networking meeting, in-person meetings, phone calls. All that stuff goes in my different over here you can see the different categories that I have. So appointments, calls, events for business is the brown. Business hours is the grayish color there. Family stuff in the purple. Kids events, so when I'm taking my kids somewhere. And then my workouts, I have some tasks, and I have triathlon client stuff in this pink color here, so I have athlete calls on Saturday nights and stuff like that. Okay, so I schedule out as much of this as I can, and when I have my phone and I'm say I'm at this business networking meeting and somebody says, hey, I want to meet with you one-on-one, I go into my phone, into my calendar, and I add it. Okay, we'll meet you on this day, and I add it in so that it's on there on my calendar. And then every night before I go to bed, I look at the calendar for the next day and make sure I know what I'm doing the next day. And I add anything on there that I might have missed if I think of something. Okay, so that's a suggestion for a calendar. Again, you can use a day planner, you can use whatever you want, a different calendar system, a different online system, but I highly recommend something that you're going to have with you all the time, which is why I like Google Calendar, because I can see it on my phone and it syncs back and forth really nicely. And so that is the calendar that I am suggesting that you set up as your assignment. And then the other thing besides a calendar that you're going to want to have is a general to-do list. So I use what's called Wunderlist, Wonder with a U, I used to use something called Astrid, and they shut down and referred me to this, and I like it just fine. There are other free to-do lists software things out there, but again, this syncs back and forth between a phone app or a Kindle app or an iPad app and an online version, and they also have actually a desktop version that's not even online, and there actually is a reminder from them to review my daily calendar tonight and make sure that I know what's on my calendar for tomorrow. So you can see some of the things that are on here. I have to bill a client. I have to log my food. Um, I have my daily calendar review. I have to schedule Facebook posts for my base training like page to check on an ad I was doing. This has been on there for too long because I haven't put my newsletter out, so I don't always do all my tasks. So that's something to note there. And then this is email or text new clients, so I go in and look at clients that came in the last 2 or 3 days and in the Beachbody back office and go text or email them from the lead, this the customer lead stuff. Okay, and then I'm reading the book Start, so I put that in there too. Any tasks that you've got to do that you want to do on a daily basis, you can make them repeat tasks. You can create different lists of stuff. What the list I'm on right now is one that's automatically in there, which is today. So it pulls all of the things out of all your lists that have to be done today, and you can see Beachbody, general business, triathlon coaching, personal stuff, challenge groups. Right? I create all these lists. And when I have a task to do, I don't put appointments in here. They're tasks, things I want to accomplish during those business hours, during those times I'm in front of my computer or whatever like that. I create this list. Okay, so Wunderlist is my recommendation. There's lots of them out there. I don't care what you use, but something that you can have with you all the time that you can add to easily. And then Google Calendar is my calendar.